Okay, so this unit is, let's just say, maybe a little less challenging than some of our other units. We're going to go through it pretty quickly. In fact, we're doing nothing but combined lessons this whole time. So today we're going to be looking at 6.1 and 6.2. The reason I'm combining them is because they're basically doing the same thing, but they're just showing you two different ways. Now, the first way it's showing you is using arrays and an expanded algorithm. Fancy words for basically saying breaking it down. So let's say that I'm going to be doing 2 times 16. So I'm going to write it out, stacked 16 times 2. Now, the first way it wants me to do it is by making an array. The way I would do that would be I would draw one long line to be a 10. And then I'd make 6 dots for my 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 16. Twice. 16 2 times. So, okay, I'll draw another line and make another 6 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can take those parts and add them up. 6 and 6 is 12. 10 and 10 is 20. Those equal 32. So that's using an array. You should not have to use this to help you find the answer. The reason I'm showing you this is that you might see it on a test. You might see it on a homework. You might see it on a problem where you are going to need to understand what that is meaning when it shows you that. Now, here's the expanded algorithm. It's basically a baby step into doing just straight up multiplication. So let me show you what it looks like. First, I do what is 2 times 6, like I normally do it. 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to write the full thing. Then I go over here. What's 2 times 1? It's not 2 times 1, it's 2 times 10. Well, 2 times 10 is 20. Then I would add those guys up and get 32. Again, you see now why I'm combining these lessons. I do not want you doing it this way. If you need to help you, please, by all means, do it. But if you understand the standard way to do it, that's how I want you to do it. This is just a good way to understand how it's broken down. These two guys right here, these are called partial products. You might have a test question on that. Hint, hint, hint. Sometimes you'll see a question, what are the partial products of 16 times 2? Your answer would be 12 and 20. It never wanted the actual answer. So the partial products are the two independent answers before we get to the whole answer, okay? So we're going to do just a couple more like this just to make sure that you kind of know what I'm talking about, and then we're moving on. We're going to go on to the standard because that's where I feel that we need to spend the most time anyway. So let's say if I'm going to do 23 times 5, all right? 23 times 5. If I'm going to do my expanded algorithm, I do 5 times 3, which is, and then I do 5 times 20, which is 100. And then I add them up. 5, 1, 1. Okay, 115. Okay? Let's do one more, just to sort of make sure we kind of understand this. Let's try 27 times 3. Okay, 27 times 3. First I do 3 times 7, which is 21. Then I'm doing 3 times 20, which is 60. Add those up. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 6 is 8. Okay? So this is the break apart method. This is just like the break apart method. If I were to rewrite this as the break apart method, 27 times 3, and turn it into 20 times 3 and 7 times 3, you get the same thing. 20 times 3 is 60. 7 times 3 is 21. Add them up. So it's literally the same thing, except you just take it and you go like that. Just make it, just flip it. That's it. So let's move on to the standard way, because that's how I want us to be trying our most on doing. When we are doing expanded algorithms, we're taking it down piece by piece. It's a lot less difficult to make a mistake when you expand it. Standard, you run the risk of making a mistake. So here's what I mean when I say that. So let's say I've got 17 times 5. Okay, 17 times 5. First, my rule is I go up and then I go over. So first I do 5 times 7. Well, what's 5 times 7? 35. Well, I write my 5 and then I put my 3 over here, kind of like an addition. The issue that you can have now is you can accidentally go, oh, well, it's not 5 times 1 now. It's 3 plus 1, which is 4. So it's 5 times 4. It happens. It happens. You could also say, oh, forget the 1. It's 5 times 1 is still 5. So then I just do 5 times 3. It's 15. Nope. But it can happen. So what we do is we do 5 times 1 is 5. And then it is plus 3. 5 times 1 plus 3, which is 8. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So the reason that this mistake would happen is because you're rushing and you're not paying attention, or you're not very organized in your writing and it's hard to read and the words and numbers kind of jumble together and you're not quite sure which one is which. That's why I'm going to stress to you right now, organization is key to this. I want one number per box, always and forever. And I want enough room around each problem. So now when I'm going to start my next problem, I'm going to skip 2 boxes. And I'm going to start my new problem in that third box over, which is 43 times 3. Okay, that gives me plenty of space in between here in case I have a 3-digit number. I don't want to have a 3-digit number that's now molding into my other number. And now I have like some 10,000 number choice and I get a little confused. Okay, you're going to have plenty of space, plenty of paper to work on. Don't worry about trying to make everything fit. Okay, organization is what's going to keep you from making some careless mistakes. So 43 times 3, same deal. I go up first and then I go over. 3 times 3 is 9. I don't even have to carry anything there. Cool. 3 times 4 is 129. So see, because I went over 2 spaces, my answer went over into one of them. But I still have a space in there. So that's nice. That keeps it from becoming 85,129. Okay, so let's do another one. Skip over 2 boxes, right in the third, 56 times 4. Same deal. I go up and then I go over. 6 times 4 is 24. I write my 4 down here. I carry my 2. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. So 224 is my answer there. Okay, here I go again. Skip over 2 more squares. Now I'm at 62 times 6. First I go up, then I go over. 6 times 2 is?
12.
Write my 2, carry the 1. 6 times 6 is?
36.
Plus 1 more is? 37. So 372. Okay, skip over 2 squares. 29 times 3. Go up first. What's 3 times 9? 27. So I write my 7. I carry my 2. 3 times 2 is? Plus 2 more is? There we go. Okay, here's my last one. Pay attention, please. You are now going to skip 1, 2, and then you go to here. Because what happens is, my last one is 88 times 2. Two times 8 is 16. I write my 6, I carry my 1. Well, now look. I've got my 1 over the 8 nice and neat and clean, and I have a nice space in between here. So there's no chance that I accidentally see this 8 right over my 1 and forget I ever wrote a 1 and think it's an 8. Trust me, things can happen when you start to rush and get a little careless. So by having that line there, that's going to ensure that I don't make a mistake and do 2 times 8 plus 8. Okay? I know it seems ridiculous and you're all looking at me like I'm some crazy, unorganized, irresponsible math person. But I'm telling you, I've seen it all. Okay? So I'm just giving you a little heads up. Little things count. So 2 times 8 is again 16, but now I'm adding 1 and it becomes 17. Okay? We should be feeling pretty good about this. This is stuff that we've already really learned. We're just now getting reintroduced into it, okay? So, we feeling good? Good. And remember, you can go back and do the expanded if you need to. Do not force yourself to do something that you don't feel ready to do. Only do it when you're ready to challenge yourself and you're confident that you can work through a problem. Okay? Don't push yourself to do something you're not ready to do.